The NFL is buzzing, and this time the noise isn't coming from a spectacular play on the field, but from the sharp words of one of the most recognizable voices in entertainment. Steve Harvey, a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan, has thrown himself into the center of the football conversation with a blistering critique of how the franchise is handling one of its most intriguing young prospects, Shador Sanders. On his podcast with Ryan Clark, Harvey didn't hold back. He said what many Browns fans have been whispering for weeks: the organization is sabotaging their own future by refusing to let Sanders take the field. For Harvey, it wasn't just a football analysis. It was personal. His frustration poured out as he questioned how Sanders could slide so far in the draft despite lighting up college football, and why the Browns seemed intent on keeping him buried on the bench. In Harvey's eyes, this wasn't just bad decision-making. It was deliberate. He accused the front office of planning to bench Sanders until they could trade him, claiming the team has no interest in letting the young quarterback prove himself in Cleveland. The way he put it was raw, direct, and unapologetic. Knowing the Browns, they dumbass going to trade him. Quarterbacks ain't what we do. It's a damning accusation, and it forces the question: are the Browns really holding back one of the brightest quarterback prospects in recent memory? Harvey certainly thinks so, and he came armed with examples. He recalled one preseason game where Sanders looked sharp, poised, and capable of leading the offense. Then came the following week, when Cleveland inexplicably put him behind a line of players who had no business being there. According to Harvey, several linemen who had never played organized football were suddenly thrown into the mix, and Sanders was left scrambling for his life. He was sacked repeatedly, hit constantly, and left with no chance to showcase his abilities. And after that game, the narrative shifted. Suddenly, Sanders was the problem. The young quarterback was criticized for missing throws and losing momentum, but Harvey pointed out the obvious. None of those linemen even made the roster. They were gone as quickly as they appeared, yet the damage had already been done to Sanders' reputation. If Harvey's accusations are even partly true, the Browns have created a dangerous mess. Their offensive line already looks shaky, and now the young quarterback they should be grooming has been left battered and frustrated. Meanwhile, the fan base is losing patience. They can see the cracks forming in Kevin Stefanski's strategy, and they're demanding answers. Why is Sanders being left in the shadows while the team insists on propping up quarterbacks who aren't delivering? Why does it feel like Cleveland is sabotaging its own potential future star? Harvey didn't just target Sanders' treatment. He also called out the Browns' decision to give Dillon Gabriel the nod over the rookie. To Harvey, it's only a matter of time before Gabriel cracks under the weight of expectations. Gabriel has never faced elite defenses like the Ravens or the Steelers, Harvey reminded his listeners, and when he does, the pressure will expose him. The way Harvey put it was blunt. The Wolves are coming and Gabriel isn't ready. That means the Browns are walking into a disaster of their own making. They'll either be forced to turn back to Sanders in desperation, or they'll try to trade him and be left with no reliable option at quarterback. Joe Flacco, of course, is still part of this equation, but even Harvey made it clear that Flacco is living on borrowed time. At 40 years old, he can't keep outrunning defenses, and Harvey predicted the inevitable. Joe Flacco going to get hurt. You just can't be 40 and run that fast away from all these people. When that happens, the Browns will be staring at the reality they've been trying to avoid. Sanders will either be on another roster, or Cleveland will finally be forced to give him the shot he should have had from the beginning. What makes Harvey's outburst sting even more is that it comes from a place of loyalty. This isn't a casual fan sounding off for attention. This is a man who sat on the floor as a 7-year-old in 1964, watching the Browns beat the Baltimore Colts for their last championship. He remembers Jim Brown in the huddle. He remembers the glory that has eluded Cleveland for 6 long decades. And as he put it, he's been watching the team mismanage itself ever since. To him, the Sanders situation is just the latest chapter in a heartbreaking cycle of squandered talent and organizational dysfunction. His anger isn't just about one quarterback. It's about a franchise that has been sabotaging itself for generations, and Harvey isn't alone. Analysts like Mary Kay Cabot have joined the chorus of criticism, pointing out how badly prepared the Browns looked heading into the season. She questioned why Joe Flacco wasn't given more time to build chemistry with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, calling out the lack of coordination that has led to miscommunication and costly errors. Without that rhythm, the offense looks broken, no matter who lines up under center. Ken Carman went even further, saying the offensive system itself is the problem. He warned that even a young talent like Sanders would flounder in Stefanski's setup because the scheme stifles creativity and sets quarterbacks up to fail. In other words, this isn't just about Sanders. It's about the entire structure of the Browns' offense collapsing around him. But no matter how analysts spin it, Sanders remains at the center of the storm. Every decision Stefanski makes, every snap Flacco or Gabriel takes, only raises more questions. Why draft a quarterback with such promise if you have no intention of letting him play? Why put him behind a makeshift line just to watch him fail? And why, after decades of failure at the position, does it seem like the Browns are still unable to commit to developing their own quarterback? Steve Harvey's rant turned this local controversy into a national talking point. His words carry weight because he's not just a comedian or a TV host. He's a voice that people listen to, and he's tapping into the same frustration that thousands of Browns fans feel every Sunday. Cleveland's handling of Sanders isn't just a football issue anymore. It's a matter of credibility. The organization is being judged not only on wins and losses, but on how it treats its future. If they blow this, if they waste Sanders the way they've wasted so many before him, the stain will linger far longer than another losing season. All eyes are now on the Browns. The fan base is restless. The analysts are circling. And a national celebrity has just put them on blast. The quarterback situation in Cleveland isn't just unstable, it's a ticking time bomb. When it goes off, the fallout could define the future of the franchise for years to come. So now the question shifts to you. Do you agree with Steve Harvey that the Browns are sabotaging Shador Sanders? Or do you think there's more to the story than meets the eye? Could Dillon Gabriel handle the pressure if Sanders is traded, or is the system itself the real problem? And how long do you think Kevin Stefanski and the coaching staff can survive this storm before it consumes them too? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on this unfolding saga.